So bases loaded here with no outs in the bottom of the fifth. Quintana off of third. He singled. Koss followed it up with a base knock as well. And then Zach Ashford trying to lay down a sacrifice bunt, able to beat it out down the line. So the bases are juice with no outs in a 1-1 ball game. 1-1 pitch to Cotton taken inside. Just turns away from it. 2 balls and a strike. Wind gusting out towards left center.
The best 2 bats here, Quinn Cotton up and then Andrew Dashbach at the plate for YD. The infield up, Cotton. Great opportunity.
McClarty sets the 2-1, is just fisted into fair play, but they call it a foul ball. Both umpires at the third base, Steve Durant's put his hands up over his head to make sure everyone knew it was foul. Cotton was sprinting, though, down the line, as he should. You run until you're told not to, but it just goes as a strike.
Well, he actually started and then kind of stopped. Nick Quintana didn't know what to do. So good thing we had help from the field umpires. Initially, Tom Carey called that one fair.
Every base occupied for the Red Sox. No outs in the bottom of the fifth. Cotton at the plate. 2-2 pitch. Loops it. Shallow territory. Second baseman Corey Wood over for it. A big out for Griffin McClarty against a good hitter for the Red Sox. And now it opens up the double play opportunity. Even a chance to get out of this inning unscathed.
Not a breaking ball. Looked like it could have been a slider that was breaking off the plate and away from Cotton, who just kind of stuck that bat head out there to try and make contact. Already committed to the swing with that 2-2 count.
I can guarantee you Griffin McClarty is not happy to see Andrew Dashbach at the plate right now. First home run of the season coming back in the fourth. Got it over the right center fence at Red Wilson. Now with the bases loaded, 1 away, chance to break a tie. First pitch comes inside, very close to plunking him on the knee. He's able to scoot away, though, that fastball.
For YD, you have Nick Quintana at third, but some speed at first and second with Koss and then Ashford.
Dashbach will dig back in. Lone RBI today, lone RBI yesterday in the 1-0 win over Falmouth. Could pick up a couple more with one swing of the bat here. 1-0, bounces in the dirt, called ball. 2-0, and now a favorable count as well for the number 3 man for the Red Sox. Walking in the first, the homer in the fourth has provided some pop for this Red Sox lineup, which could really use it. Just the 3rd home run of the season here in game number 10. Quintana on third, Koss on second, Ashford off of first. 2-0 pitch is a grounder at the third baseman, Jones. He's got it, throws home for 1, back over to first. The double play turned by the Kettleers. Griffin McClarty gets out of a bases loaded, no outs jam. Fantastic stuff from the Kettleers infielder and the righty hurler, and we go to the top of the 6th. Still 1 apiece from Red Wilson. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. The Sea Dog Pub, located at 23 Whites Path in South Yarmouth, Massachusetts, is a great local pub to bring your family. From daily specials to a great menu, they are worth a stop in before or after the game. Top of the sixth inning, one apiece for the Red Sox and the Kettleers. Here on the first day of summer officially, June 21st in Yarmouth, Mass, and a really nice day to take in game number 10 for the YD Red Sox, threatening there in the bottom of the fifth inning. Had the bases loaded with no outs, but Griffin McClarty getting out of the jam and turns things over to Braden Fink for the Red Sox. Carl Kaufman going 5 strong, very similar to his first outing against the Mariners, but makes way for Fink to handle things in the sixth inning.
Fink making his third appearance here for the Red Sox out of the pen.
Facing Bierman to start off the inning. Begins him with a curveball dipping away.
His last outing, he took the loss against the Kettleers here in game number 1. Allowed that walk-off hit to Zach Bierman. So the inflated ERA at 7.71.
Chance to get some redemption on Zach right here. 1-0 offering. That catches the outside corner for a strike in a lefty-on-lefty matchup. 1 hit for the Kettleers. They do produce the 1 run back in the first inning. Sox responding with one of their own in the fourth, courtesy of a Andrew Dashbach solo shot to right field. Fink's 1-1 offering is grounded hard over to first base. Dashbach calls off Fink, and he'll touch the base. Easy first out for the Red Sox here in the sixth.
And, you know, Dana, for 3 errors today from YD, they played really good defense. All 3 of those came in the first inning, an E4, a throwing error from Kaufman, the pitcher, and then an E5 as well, another throwing error for YD. Since then, we've seen terrific defense. Quinn Cotton able to throw out Oviedo, trying to advance. Dashbach laying out, able to make a stop.
1 away, and Michael Tolia will switch around and bat from the right side here against the lefty Fink. 6'5", 220 digging in. Inside-out stance with the bases empty. Fink winds and fires a bouncer in the dirt. Tolia playing with the Kettleers last year. Batted .248, 7 home runs, 27 runs batted in. A great season in Cotuit. Had to come back for more. 1-1 ball game in the top of the sixth with 1 out, no one on base. 1-0 offering from Fink gets away from Dyer, high, reaching for it. 2-0 the count is pushed to. Red Sox finally back home now after a stretch on the road. Doubleheader against Cotuit. Dropping both of those games. This meeting number 3. 1 more to come back on June 30th here at Red Wilson. 2-0 pitch to Tolia is lifted foul back towards the parking lot. 2 balls and a strike on the 4-man for the Kettleers. Final line on Carl Kaufman, 5 innings, 1 hit. Just the lone run, not earned, so still a perfect ERA for the Michigan Wolverine. 3 walks, though, and 2 of those really hurt him back in the first inning. Also picked up 2 punch-outs. Fink the lefty, 2-1. Tails inside. 3 balls and a strike on Tolia. Struck out swinging back in the fourth, was one of those 2 Carl Kaufman victims. And he'll dig back in with the bases empty. 1 out, 1-1 ball game. 3-1 pitch to Tolia, stays upstairs, ball 4. He works the second one he has this afternoon. Peyton Burdick now stepping to the dish with a runner on to work with.
And I think, kind of similar here between Kaufman and Fink out on the mound. The first inning, getting into a little bit of trouble for Braden Fink, but don't let that get to him here. His first inning of work against the Kettleers, kind of settle back in, go back to what he was able to do against the Anglers.
1 on, 1 away in the top of the sixth. Fink versus Burdick. Lefty on, righty matchup. First pitch, cut on and fouled towards the Red Sox dugout.
And in that game, it was rather against Brewster, not Channa, but 2 innings of work, 1 run, only a hit.
First pitching change of the afternoon. for Roberts or Pickler coming in the top of the sixth. We'll have to see if Griffin McClarty comes back to pitch more in the home half. Toss over to first. Dashbach has it slip away from him. Nice job, though, just to get a mid on that. Kind of an adventure for him, reaching across the runner who was coming back to the plate, Tolia. Count stays at 0-1. Wind gusting out towards left center across Red Wilson. Shadows creeping into the infield just across the 6:30 time marker on the East Coast. Fink sets to the belt, delivers the 0-1 curveball right over the heart of the plate. He gets ahead 0-2 on Burdick. 3 homers so far for the Wright State product. That's good enough for second in the Cape League, just behind Chatham and Arizona State's Spencer Torkelson. He's got 4. 0-2 count here on Burdick. Cut, fouled off.
All 3 of those coming on opening day. Talk about a nice start to the season here. And when we last saw him up in that leadoff spot for the Kettleers, now dropped a bit.
Cooled down, batting .214 through 29 plate appearances. Number 3 of the day here. Advanced on the air. Was also hit by a pitch. Snap throw over to first. Back in sliding safely is Tolia. Mentioned these 2 teams will play back here on June 30th. So all the Red Sox Kettleers matchups. Getting rid of them in the month of June. Of course, they could meet up sometime in mid-August. 0-2 fastball taken high. And I believe they're going to call a balk there, possibly on Fink. I think that's the call. He thought about throwing over to first, tried to stop his motion, and both umpires agreeing. So Tolia awarded second base, an easy runner in scoring position. Pitch was called a ball, though, so the count moves to 1-2. Still 1 out, but a different situation for Fink to work with. 1 base hit can change things up. Fink coming set. Right above the belt. Next offering called strike 3, a curveball. Dyer setting up outside. Doesn't matter, though. It drifts over the plate. Nice strikeout for Braden Fink, the first of the afternoon.
That one's some bite to it, kind of sweeping across the plate there from middle to in. And like we said, all game long, Tom Carey behind the plate. He's loved the inner third to call those strikes. Outer third, not so much.
2 away in the top of the 6th inning. 1-1 the score, and Eric Jones to dig in with Tolia off of second base. Third baseman for Cotuit is 0-2. Grounded over to Dashbach in the first inning. Nice cover from Kaufman to record that out. Fink, a glance back at second. Takes another. Now fires home. Just misses a tad inside to fall behind the 6th man for the Kettleers. Fink hangs his left hand close to his cleats to get the signs from Dyer. Now coming set. All the way stood upright. 1-0 is grounded over to Koss, and it bounces and hits Tolia. That's an easy out. And the Red Sox get out of the 6th inning. Fink gives up a walk, gives up a balk, but no trouble done. We go to the home half of the 6th inning. 1-1 tie ball game from Red Wilson. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Home half of the sixth inning, 1-1 ball game between the Red Sox and the Kettleers. Dana Gray and Brandon Pelter here at Red Wilson. So happy that you've joined us for part of your Thursday evening. This has been a fun one, back and forth. The Kettleers put up a run in the first. Andrew Dashbach monster shot over the right field fence to knot things up in the fourth, and that's where we stand. But a new pitcher on the bump for the Kettleers. Matthew Gauthier comes in to pitch. One of the few Canadians that we've seen down on the Cape, hailing from Quebec.
He's from NC State, making his third appearance here for the Kettleers. Pitched a 3.86 ERA through 2 1/3, 4 hits. Rather, 2 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, no strikeouts.
He'll face 4, 5, and 6 for the Red Sox in Reese Albert, Matt Dyer, and Noah Campbell to plate, expected in the sixth inning. Reese Albert, the FSU product, just playing in his second game in a Red Sox uniform. First pitch, he lets fly by away.
This past season at NC State, 4 starts, 17 appearances, pitched 4.01 ERA.
1-0 is slapped foul. Evens the count up at 1-1. Coming down from Quebec. Wonder if he speaks any French, or at least the possibility to speak both. 1-0 missing away.
Well, I know you have family in Canada. Do you speak any French?
You know, I took it in high school, but I kind of trailed it off as I stopped having to take it, so to speak. Next pitch, that'll miss low as well. Any high school languages for you, Brandon?
Spanish was the big one.
I feel like those are the main two, right? You either take
Spanish,
French,
and Italian.
3-1 to Albert, painting the outside corner for a strike. Gauthier getting back in the count. The count is pushed full with no outs and no one on base. Third baseman Jones playing in. Payoff pitch, wave and a miss, strike 3. Albert fishing for it low in the dirt. He goes down by way of the K to start the sixth.
YD, just their third strikeout so far today. So they've been putting balls into play. And while 6 hits on the scoreboard, just 1 run to show for, kind of similar to last night's outcome, 1 run on 7 hits for the Red Sox.
Dyer digs in, tries to check his swing. Mark Delaney says he cannot, so it goes as a strike, 0-1. Nice to see a little power in this Red Sox lineup coming, even if it is just the 1 run. Still a few more bats expected to come in the next few weeks. 0-1 to Dyer, wave and a miss at a high fastball, 0-2.
That home run from Dashbach, just the second for the Red Sox as a team this season.
Still a few guys to come from Texas. Couple from Florida as well. 0-2 to Dyer. He lays off it away from the dirt. We'll see if Scott Pickler can get a little more oomph into this lineup, as Drew Mendoza was on the roster to start this season for the Red Sox. Actually played his first game last night for Chatham. Got the golden sombrero, 4 strikeouts. 1-2 dips away. Evens the count up at 2-2. So opportunities for guys throughout this lineup to provide some pop. Matt Dyer at the plate now with a 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. A soft grounder for the second baseman. Wood, he'll field on to first. Easy second out of the inning, and Noah Campbell will be tabbed with salvaging something here in the sixth.
And actually the third home run for YD. Forgot about Brad Beasley's 2-run shot in the first game against Cotuit.
Campbell singling in his previous plate appearance. Tripled last night in Falmouth, was stranded in the later stages of that ball game when YD was looking for insurance. Turns out they didn't need it, especially with the pitching from Sam Kessler. First pitch to Campbell, soft grounder right back at the pitcher Gauthier. He'll field over to first in time to get the speedy Campbell. 1, 2, 3 go the Sox in the sixth. We go to the top of the seventh. 1-1 ball game from Red Wilson Field. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Through 6 full innings at Red Wilson Field, and the Kettleers coming to bat in the top of the 7th. 1 run off of just 1 hit for the visitors. No errors. The Red Sox a run off of 6 hits, 3 errors as well. All of those coming back in the first inning. And you just take away that first frame, it's been a near perfect ball game from the Red Sox. Braden Fink back out for inning number 2 of work. Gave up a walk back in the 6th, but other than that, unblemished. Also a strikeout.
YD pitching staff only allowed 1 combined hit, 4 walks, hit by pitch, and there were not many base runners for the Kettleers.
Pastrana digs in. First pitch of the 7th inning about to come your way. Braden Fink hanging over, dangling that left hand. Interesting approach. Getting the signs from Dyer. Now fires home. Called strike behind home plate. Tom Carey says, yes, sir, on Ray Pastrana, who's 0 for 2 today. Ground out to Koss, a ground out to Quintana. Coming in the 2nd and the 4th. Righty from Marshall digs back in. Here's Fink's 0-1 offering. Off speed, called strike. Quickly 0-2 on Pastrana. Just one of 3 finalists for the 2018 Johnny Bench Award. That's, of course, presented to nation's most outstanding collegiate catcher. Batting .355 this past season. Well worthy of that award. Think so, too. Trails inside. Pastrana moves away from it quickly. Evades contact with that baseball, and the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. No outs, no one on base.
Cape obviously known for being the best summer collegiate league, but look at the catching. Joey Bart last year with Harwich, number 2 overall pick.
1-2 offering to Pastrana. Away for a ball. Some great backstops. Pretty much you'd have to assume you're getting the best of the best at every single position. Best hurlers, and if you talk to the hitters down here, they love it because it's a challenge. They get to see the best pitching from all 50 states. 2-2, wave and a miss, strike 3, fishing upstairs. Pastrana goes down. 2 strikeouts for Fink, through an inning in a 3rd.
Boy, just putting that one up around the letters after a breaking ball bouncing in the dirt.
Corey Wood will step into the lefty's batter's box with 1 away and no one on base in the top of the 7th. Just 190 so far for the Kettleers. 4 hits coming off over 20 plate appearances, sitting towards the end of that batting order. Fink the wind and the fire connects with a strike on the outside corner with a fastball. 0-1. Fink the Oklahoma product that's expected to put in some good numbers for Scott Pickler out of the pen. 171 ERA this past season with the Sooners. His 0-1. Now he connects inside. Going left then right here on Corey Wood to get ahead in the count 0-2.
As if he's just toying with these Kettleers hitters here in the 7th.
He put Pastrana away with the high heat. That was a 2-2 pitch. We'll see what he goes with here. He shakes off the first sign from Dyer. Suppose he likes the next and comes set. 0-2 to Wood. Fought off foul to the fence. He stays alive. 0-2. Fink played last summer back with the Martha's Vineyard Sharks in the Futures League. Talk about picking a couple of great locations to play your summer ball. Going the Vineyard last season. Here on the Cape in Yarmouth for 2018. Doesn't get much better than that. 0-2 to Wood again. Away. Missing off speed. A ball and 2 strikes on the 8th spot for the Kettleers.
Certainly not the Northwoods League trekking across the Midwest or out in Alaska. 20-plus hours of light each day.
And I think if you're offered, at least have the opportunity to come play with one of these 10 teams, it's something you can't pass up. 1 away in the 7th, 1-1 ball game. Fink's 1-2 pitch. Grounder to second base. Martinez gobbles over to Dashbach. And there's 2 away. Martinez settling down in the field. And Fink on the verge of a perfect 7th inning. Adam Oviedo, the lone man standing in the way of that, a right-handed hitter. with 2 away in the 7th. This one's up for grabs. Another low-scoring game that the Red Sox will take part in the first quarter of this Cape League season. 1-0 win last night against Falmouth. That lone run coming for the Red Sox back in the first. Fink manning the rubber. Second pitcher of the day for the Red Sox. First out of the pen. Starts off Oviedo low with a curveball. Dips a little bit below the knees. Shortstop for the Kettleers has the lone hit for Cotuit. Just a soft ground ball down the third base line that Quintana couldn't grab on a dive, and it turned into extra bases. 1-0 offering from Fink, a fastball buried in the dirt, and it's 2-0 on the shortstop for Cotuit. YD back home tomorrow. 2-game homestand for the Red Sox. They'll take on the Mariners for the second time this season before they head over the bridge to Bourne on Saturday. Back home on Sunday for the second of 2 scheduled doubleheaders this season. Those coming against the Gatemen, a 2:30 start to begin things on Sunday, as YD will get its first look at Wareham, a team that's just caught fire in the early goings here.
Gatemen out to that 7-2 start, best record on the Cape.
Team that made it all the way to the Western Finals back in August before falling to the Braves. 2-0 on the way. Hair outside. 3 straight balls here to the 9-man. The base is empty and no one on base.
Tough thing for the Gatemen. They'll be losing a couple players to Team USA within the next week.
Base is empty. 2 away in the top of the 7th. 3-0. Missing upstairs. A 4-pitch walk issued to the shortstop for Cotuit. So 1 aboard with 2 away. And you talk about Team USA. One of the arms that will be traveling there next week, Graham Stinson, Duke product, put on a phenomenal showing against the Kettleers yesterday. 5 innings, just the 1 hit, no runs. But here's the kicker. 5 innings, faced 19, 12 strikeouts. Just unbelievable stuff from the Duke Blue Devil, but unfortunately for Orleans, they're probably only going to get him, you'd think, for maybe one more start you can squeeze in maybe before shipping out to USA.
Well, and if he started yesterday, Wednesday, you think maybe Sunday he'd be good to go. Saturday, probably Sunday he's back in the mix, and then I think they're due to Team USA on Tuesday.
Top of the order, and Will Robertson in the lefty box. Runner on, 2 away, tie ball game in the 7th. Lefty Fink comes home. This one's spoiled over the fence. Fink gets ahead in the count, 0-1. So Kettleers were trailing that game 4-0. Stinson goes 5 strong. He gets pulled next inning. Cotuit puts up a 5 spot in the home half of the 7th inning. Just brutal stuff if you're a starter to pitch that well. Bullpen coughs it up, and Cotuit won it 5-4 over Orleans. 0-1 from Fink is lofted over towards Quintana. It looks like he's got it, closes the mitt. He surely does, to retire the side. Home half of the 7th coming up. Get up and stretch. It's a 1-1 ball game as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the seventh inning, a 1-1 ball game between the Red Sox and the Kettleers on what's turning into a gorgeous evening in South Yarmouth. First pitch on the way and driven right back up the middle by Martinez. One pitch and a single for the second baseman for the Red Sox. Hopped all over that fastball from Gauthier. There's one on. Nick Quintana now to slide up. Good start to the seventh inning for the Red Sox, hoping to take their first lead of the afternoon. Ample opportunities. Had the bases loaded with no outs in the fifth inning. Quinn Cotton flying out to second base, and then a 5-1-3 double play turned by the Kettleers. Toss over to first. Martinez sliding back in safely.
Boy, Dana, I mean, if you're not looking up at the scoreboard to see that 1-1 score, you think Whitey surely has the lead. They loaded the bases. They've got 7 hits. The Kettleers with just 1.
First pitch on the way to Quintana, lays off of a tailing away fastball in the dirt. Nick with a great plate appearance last time up in the fifth, roping a single into left field. It's got to be a good feeling for him, a guy that's really struggled at the plate, coming in with a sub 100 average. 1-0, runs inside, but a called strike. Quintana bunched up his hands as if to avoid that pitch. Looked like it might have even clipped the gloves if he didn't move them, but Tom Carey calls it a strike. Evens the count up at 1-1. No outs. Bottom of the seventh. 1-1 ball game, and Martinez off of first now has to slide back. Another snap throw over. Really dirtying up that home white uniform for the Red Sox. Almost dead lookalikes to the Boston Red Sox uniforms. 1-1 on the way to Quintana. Bouncer off of home. 2 balls and a strike on the Arizona Wildcat. Quintana entering today, second in the league in strikeouts. Been a victim 11 times, but seems to be turning things around and a lot earlier in the season than he did last year.
That's exactly what the coaching staff had to say as well. He is ready to really pop off and have some great games. I mean, they truly believe he is the very best hitter out here on the Cape.
2-1 to Quintana. That definitely inside. Has to push away from it and hold his bat up high to avoid contact. 3 balls and a strike and a favorable count for Nick. Just his third hit this afternoon.
We saw him swinging on 3-0 yesterday. Wouldn't be surprised to see him swing 3-1.
Tie ball game and the 3-1. That inside as well. Look out, Quintana avoids it. And ball 4. Red Sox with something cooking. No outs. First and second. And Christian Koss to dig in.
Koss, like we talked about, feeling much better these past couple days after game on Brewster was on Tuesday now. Runner slid in hard, got a good piece of his ankle, and spiked him.
Be a great time to pick up RBI number 1 of the summer. Just 1 hit and a mound visit ensuing between the Kettleers infielders and also some of the staff, and Scott Pickler will bring in the runners again, especially when you think about so many base running mistakes early on in this season for the Red Sox, and some of that you just chalk up to getting used to your team, getting used to the signals, getting used to the coaching staff. But with so many gaffes, Scott Pickler wants to make sure that everyone's on the same page. We've got Martinez on second, decent speed. Quintana on first, not much to show. But all you really need is the 1 run in this ballgame. It wouldn't be surprised, I don't know about you, Brandon, if this one ends 2-1.
Well, and talking about things that aren't surprises, we get a pitching change here quickly. I would be shocked if we don't see Christian Koss squaring around to bunt.
Especially with Zach Ashford, hot hitter on deck. We'll find out what happens. Pitching change to come, and the Red Sox hoping to take a lead on the other side. You're listening to Whitey Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the 7th continuing. Here's the situation. First and second for the Sox in a 1-1 ball game. Christian Koss to plate, and he'll face the righty Ryan Lefner, back out of St. Louis University, a senior for appearance number 3 of the summer. So far, 2 games, 3 2/3 innings pitch. Perfect ERA. Koss showing bunt. Pulls it back, and the pitch is called a strike. Corner infielders Bierman and Jones charging, but no contact.
And with St. Louis this past season, 22 appearances out of the pen, 3.78 ERA, and 33 innings pitched. 31 hits there, 42 strikeouts.
Pitched 2 2/3 against the Red Sox in Game 2 of the doubleheader. Just gave up 1 hit. Koss showing bunt on the 0-1 count. Here's the pitch, and he bunts that right into the mitt of Pastrana, it looked like, maybe nicking it. But now on an 0-2 count, decision time for Scott Pickler down the line.
Koss almost stabbing at that ball. When you see someone bunting, you almost want to catch it as if there's a glove off the end of the bat. Bring it back just a tad to kind of deaden that ball, not be throwing the bat head out there at that.
Ashford on deck. Martinez off of second. Quintana after first. Koss showing bunt. Lets it go high. Pulling it back in time.
Boy, that's showing a lot of confidence in your hitter there, squaring around a bunt 0-2.
Especially with the miscues that we've seen so far from the Red Sox. But Scott Pickler obviously trusting Koss, a second-year guy here with YD. Good hitter for the Red Sox last year. Keeps the bat on his shoulder for the moment. Lefner coming set and deals. Koss grounds this one through the hole and rolls into center field. Around third base is Martinez. He'll come in to score. RBI first of the summer for Koss, and it gives the Sox their first lead of the afternoon.
Boy, and having that bunt on 0-2 and then pulling it back with the ball, then 1-2, you had the shortstop in the hole, if not over toward third even more, so he could get to third base when the corners crashed, leaving the middle of the field wide open. If Koss isn't bunting there, you have the middle infielders in double play depth. That's a 6-4-3 double play.
Exciting stuff and great coaching from Scott Pickler, who wants to bring in a pinch runner right now for the Red Sox. Nick Quintana will toss over the helmet to Luke Waddell, who will hop on to second base. Koss on first. 2-1 lead for the Red Sox here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Finally getting a lead against these Kettleers. It's been a while, all the way back in Game 1 of that doubleheader. But now YD in business in the bottom of the 7th at home. No outs, first and second. Ashford in the lefty box.
For YD, they haven't had the hit and run working much lately, but there, I mean, as a head coach, you could not ask for anything better.
Glance back at second from Lefner, now delivers. Ashford thought about bunting, pulls it back as it drifts low. Called a ball by Tom Carey, so the Red Sox trying to move those runners around once again. Bierman, the first baseman for Cotuit, all the way on the infield grass. Koss allowed to take a hefty lead off of first. Over at third base, Jones playing in on the grass as well. The set, 1-0 to Ashford. Pulls back the bunt as the fastball rips high, 2-0. Ashford, the Fresno State product, who's been hitting well so far for YD. As Pastrana goes out to chat with Lefner, a guy at the leadoff position that knows how to get on base. Put down a bunt back in the 5th, remember, that you'd have to assume he was trying to apply a sacrifice and actually turned it into a single. It was perfect execution, chugged down the line. Gave the Sox the bases loaded. He'd surely take a sacrifice here, though, on a 2-0 count. No outs. Runners on first and second. Lefner sets to the belt. Now comes home and misses low. Ashford pulls back the bunt once again in time. Favorable count here, 3-0.
And so on 3-0, I mean, are you still laying down the bunt here for Zach Ashford?
Bierman still in, a well with Jones. Shortstop Oviedo playing close to the bag at second. Keeping Waddell honest. 3-0 right down the middle. Fastball blown by Ashford, definitely sitting red. 3 balls and a strike in the bottom of the 7th. Sox finally putting up a run to take the lead. Andrew Martinez coming home off the RBI single by Christian Koss, who's now at first. Waddell at second. 3-1, missing upstairs. Ball 4. Red Sox have him loaded for the second time this afternoon, and the second time for Quinn Cotton.
And also, now with less than 2 outs, the second time for YD. They've got to take advantage of the opportunity. Again, the infield is up here. Cotton up right now. Andrew Dashbach up next, barring a triple play, which would be quite miraculous. Whitey has got to score and pad on this lead.
Even just the one would do. Cotton popping out to second base the last time this situation came about. First pitch to Cotton. Off speed, called a strike. Lefner, the St. Louis product, getting ahead of Quinn Cotton, the Grand Canyon kid. He'll dig right back in with all the Kettleers infielders playing in on the grass. Bases full of Red Sox. 0-1 on the way to Cotton. Tries to check his swing. Rung up by Tom Carey behind home plate. Might have even been a called strike at that on the outside corner. And Cotton in a hole, 0-2. Ashford off of first, Koss off of second, Waddell off of third, just 90 feet away from the third Red Sox run. Trying to turn this into a big seventh inning for YD. Cotton waving the bat, readying for the 0-2. Here it comes. A soft grounder down the third baseline, charged by Jones. He'll throw over to first. That's in time to get Cotton, but the Red Sox score a run, an RBI for Quinn, and YD takes a 3-1 lead.
Hey, any way you can do it there. That is slow dribbler up the third base side. No play at the plate with Waddell taking off as soon as that ball was hit on the ground.
So the Red Sox up 3-1 now. And still an opportunity for more damage to come. Waddell comes in to score. Koss moves over to third base. Zach Ashford over at second. Great speed on the base paths for YD. And another great hitter at the dish, Andrew Dashbach, leaving the yard back in the fourth to tie us up. Now a chance to extend the lead for the Red Sox. Righty on righty matchup with one away in the seventh. 3-1 lead Red Sox. First pitch swung at and cut down the right field line towards the Cotuit bullpen, out of play.
Dashbach with the home run we saw with a couple doubles does such a good job sitting back and able to drive that ball the other way. Not something that a lot of hitters can do very well.
Got a chance to chat with Andrew last night after the game. Stand-up guy, had some nice words for Nico Horner as well, a YD Red Sox last year. They're teammates at Stanford, and said that Nico prepped him, told him everything he needed to know about Yarmouth and Scott Pickler. 0-1 on the way, cut and a miss at a high fastball. 0-2.
I think there's a lot to know about Pick.
There surely
gives
is.
him a big up, but just an old school guy, competitive, willing to really into teaching these guys and allowing them to learn from their mistakes, from their experiences.
Season 21 for Scott Pickler, sitting on that bucket over by the Red Sox dugout. 0-2 pitch about to come with one away. Runners on second and third. Here it comes, and it's a bouncer away. Ball in 2 strikes. Dashbach letting it go all the way. Been a great addition to this Red Sox lineup. Now 4 runs batted in, 1 homer, 7 hits. Chance to pick up a couple more RBIs right here. Lefner looking at third, coming set at the belt, delivers the 1-2, grounded, spoiled, foul, right into the Red Sox dugout. So we'll do the 1-2 pitch again. Check around the league. All 5 games now officially underway. The Gatemen down against the Braves 3-1. Scoreless between the Mariners and the Commodores. Whitecaps and Firebirds scoreless in the first, and the Hawks and Anglers also a couple of goose eggs on the board. Here a 3-1 lead for the Red Sox, picking up 2 runs in the 7th, hoping for more with second and third. Ashford off of the middle bag. Koss standing 90 feet away from scoring. Andrew Dashbach, the batter, and time called by the catcher Pastrana. Goes out to have a chat with Lefner, inserted into a tough situation. It comes with the territory if you're pitching out of the pen. Relieving Gauthier, who only could go 1 inning, charged with 2 runs as well. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Dashbach. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He was well out in front of that breaking ball, fooled by it, and Lefner gets a big-time strikeout. Now there's 2 away.
On the one side to Andrew Dashbach at Stanford, 216 at-bats, 60 Ks, leading his team. And with those power guys, that's what you're going to get, a lot of Ks.
Reese Albert will dig in from the left side. 2 away in the 7th. 2-0 lead for the Red Sox. First pitch. Bounces and gets away from home plate. Pastrana couldn't close the mitts. Koss will come in and touch home. A 3-run lead for the Red Sox in the 7th, courtesy of the pass ball. So Albert doesn't even have to do much. Another run brought in for the Red Sox. Make it a 3 spot in the 7th. Ashford trotting over to third base easily as well. He's 90 feet from scoring. So opportunity still on the board for YD. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Lefner. Is grounded foul just by a foot down the first base line.
A big run to now make it a 3-run lead late in this ball game. If YD can get Ashford in from third, they've got to be happy with the 7th inning that they've had.
1-1 count. Albert at the dish, takes high for ball 2. A fastball missing at the letters. Productive eating for YD. Martinez singling to lead things off. Came around to score. Quintana followed it up with a walk. And then Koss with the RBI single. 2-1 off speed and a wave and a miss from Albert. Evens the count back up at 2-2. Ashford walking as well. He stands at third base. So the Red Sox put up 3 runs in the 7th. 2-2 pitch, a grounder ranging to his right is Wood, the second baseman, over to first in time to retire the side. But the Sox take the lead for the first time this evening. 3 runs to make it a 4-1 ball game as we head to the top of the 8th. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Schlegel and Schlegel Insurance Brokers Incorporated is located at 34 Main Street, Route 28 in West Yarmouth, Massachusetts. From auto insurance to home insurance, they are your spot to ensure that all of your insurance needs are taken care of. Stop by or visit schlegelins.com to have your policy reviewed today. Top of the 8th inning in Yarmouth, Mass. And now a 4-1 lead for the Red Sox over the Kettleers. Dana Gray and Brandon Pelter having a ball here on Game 10 of the season. Red Sox on the verge of picking up victory number 4 against a team that beat them up on Father's Day. 2 victories in the doubleheader for the Cotuit Kettleers over at Lowell Park. Now the Red Sox getting some revenge at the moment. Things can change, though, in a whirl. 2-3-4 up for the Kettleers, and Fink back on the bump. Starts off the 2-man Dillard with a fastball away. Red Sox pushing 3 across just a few moments ago. Martinez Waddell and Koss all scoring for YD to give them this 4-1 advantage. Fink, the lefty, facing the righty Dillard. From the windup, fires home a ball that runs inside. 2-0 on the two-man for Cotuit. Most previous plate appearance for Dillard was a lofty fly ball into left that turned into a double play with Cotton gunning down the runner at third. 2-0 on the way. Fastball connecting on the outside corner for a strike, 2-1. Great throw from Quinn Cotton, one of the better defensive plays we've seen this summer so far. Got Oviedo dead in his tracks. Fink winds in the 2-1, is roped out into center field. Coming on, charging hard is Ashford, and he's got it in stride to get the first out of the 8th.
We've talked about the jumps that Ashford just gets on balls. Johnny DeLuca, the same deal out there, both of them with plus speed and great reads on balls.
Zach Bierman will step to the plate. Hitless so far this afternoon after he beat up the Red Sox during the doubleheader. That game-winning hit in Game 1, a couple of extra base hits in Game 2. Cotuit rode that 11-3 victory to get the full 4 points. Lefty v. lefty. Fink coming set, fires home, connects with a strike. Bierman doesn't like it, glances back at Tom Carey. But hey, he's been giving him that inside corner all afternoon. Uber consistent. Not so much on the outer portions of the plate. Fink working from the windup. And the third base side of the rubber fires home. Misses low, evens the count up at 1-1.
Uber. You mentioned Uber, the ride-sharing app, and public address announcer Mark Howard driving some Uber. We'll have to get him to pick us up.
So if you're in the area, we talk about ad reads. Little
there you go.
Unpaid promotion. 1-1 connecting for a strike.
I guess it pays to know us.
Yeah, and it's a great side job, I would have to think. And you get to drive around gorgeous streets of Cape Cod, and then also his perfect voice at the mic. Public address announcer at Red Wilson.
Sings the national anthem from time to time.
What can't this guy do? Not much. 1-2 count on Bierman with one away. Here's the pitch, and that plunks Bierman on that protector for the elbow. So a hit by pitch for the 3-man for Cotuit. They do get a base runner. They're going to need a few more if they want to put up a fight against the Red Sox, trailing by 3. But a good man to start a rally. Michael Tolia coming up.
Well, here's my question. Do you think Mark serenades his rides? I mean, because I don't know if you've ever been in some of these cars, but
they'll give you water,
disco
snacks.
lights. Yeah.
I assure you that you wouldn't be expecting it. I'd be shocked as anyone to get in an Uber and have the driver start singing me songs, especially the national anthem. But it does sound very nice. 1 on, 1 out. Tolia at the dish, takes for a strike at the knees. Sun beginning to set over towards our left at Red Wilson. Shade has crept across most of the infield, most of the outfield. Still enjoying the sunlight. Fink, the lefty, looks at first, now comes home. This one drilled out towards left field, but goes foul. Rolls over by the Red Sox dugout. Good contact for Tolia, a hitter that had success last summer with the Kettleers. Back for summer number 2, playing his college ball at UCLA, where he just tore it up this past spring. 336. Led the Bruins with 58 runs batted in. And has to go retrieve a fresh new bat. He really put that one on a line. Top of the 8th inning, Red Sox 4, Kettleers 1. 0-2 count on Tolia. Bierman getting his slight lead off of first base. He was just plunked by a pitch from Fink. Dashbach chatting him up as Bierman will regain the lead. Fink coming set right above the belt. 0-2 offering is a grounder slowly to Martinez at second. He'll step on second, and that's all he'll get. Actually made contact with Christian Koss, and that bump forced him to hold on to the baseball. They do get the lead runner, I think Christian just thought maybe Martinez would flip on for that out at second.
Well, there you need the communication because that ball kind of slow. So Martinez could have done three different things. He decided to take it. He could have flipped it to Cost. He could have even tried to apply the tag there to Bierman, who was maybe a step or two away from him. And I think that might have been the easiest play if you step into Bierman and then throw on to first.
Bo Brundage will dig in, getting his first plate appearance of the afternoon, replacing Peyton Burdick here in the top of the 8th inning. Runner on first with 2 away, 3-run lead for the Sox. Fink's first pitch on the outside corner at a strike. Brundage, a 6-game hitting streak entering today, one of the longest currently active in the league, and he gets a chance to make do of it, but could just be his only opportunity. We are in the top of the 8th. A late insert into this ball game. 0-1 from Fink. Off speed and spoiled over by the Cotuit dugout. Quickly 0-2 here on Brundage.
For YD, Ryan Nelson, pretty much all warm, just kind of standing out there in the bullpen. Coach is telling us earlier today that's who they want to be. Their closer, hitting 96 to 99 on the gun with the fastball.
1 strike away from getting out of the jam. Fink comes home, swing and a miss, strike 3. Brundage goes fishing for the high heat, and Fink picks up K number 3. We go to the home half of the 8th inning. Red Sox rolling at Red Wilson, up 4-1 over Cotuit. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Happy summer, Red Sox fans. YD putting on a good showing so far. Here in the bottom of the 8th, a 4-1 lead over the visiting Kettleers. Meeting number 3 of the regular season. First at home for YD. And it was that 3-run 7th inning that really broke things open for the Red Sox, Brandon. And some timely hitting. Also some patient approaches at the plate.
Yeah, and I think, we've talked about this a couple times the last few games. YD getting off the schneid. Their approach at the plate has been aggressive but disciplined. So if you're getting a first pitch fastball out over the plate, they're swinging.
Lefner back out for inning number 2 of work. First pitch to Dyer upstairs and away.
So they've worked there are plenty of walks. But also give them something to hit, they'll take it.
Next offering connecting with a strike. 1-1 the count on the catcher for the Red Sox. We should mention he's been perfect behind the backstop tonight. Nothing getting past him. 1-1 on the way, off speed, called strike on the outer third. 1-2 on the leadoff man for the Red Sox.
And the coaches told us of that change, is having him not drop the knee, and huge change today. That's what they said we'd see.
Lefner from the windup comes home, and it's fought off foul by Dyer. He stays alive in the count. 1-2 with no one on and no outs in the bottom of the 8th. Red Sox up by 3 runs, trying to make it 2 wins in a row for the first time this summer. 1-2, dips away, and Dyer lays off of it. Lefner back out on the mound, working quickly, fires home the 2-2, and it's drubbed towards the left side, but on the ground, foul. Dyer will stay alive. Good contact, though, for the catcher for the Red Sox, who's hitless today. A pop out on the infield, a strikeout, and a ground out. 2-2, fisted over the head of the first baseman. Bierman dunks in for a base hit. Matt Dyer aboard for the first time this afternoon to lead things off in the 8th inning.
And that one in on the hands, just that inside-out swing, Jeter-esque, fighting it off the other way. And just what you want there.
Noah Campbell to plate, the designated hitter for the Red Sox. 1 for 3 with a single coming back in the fourth. Out of South Carolina, and he'll bat from the left side against the righty Ryan Leffner in a 4-1 ball game. Bottom 8, no outs, and Dyer off of first. Glance over there, and Leffner will fire home. Missed just a tad high. Looked like a changeup from the righty. Falls behind on Campbell.
So you didn't like the Jeter reference there, Dana?
It's not my favorite. As a Red Sox fan, born and raised, I could live without. Though I have to say, I do respect him. One of the few Yankees I do. 1-1, soft grounder towards the right side. Wood to gather it. Only play will be at first, and it's not in time. Corey Wood took 1 second too long to pop his head up. And when he looked over at first, Campbell was already chugging down the line. So first and second for the Red Sox in the 8th.
And Wood fielded that ball about even with the bag and then looked and took a step toward Matt Dyer, who was running across him to try and apply the tag. That wasn't there. And at that point, the throw well too late at first base.
So more base runners for the Red Sox. First and second with no outs. 3-run lead already, and Andrew Martinez to plate. Leffner, a glance back at second, starts the motions, now hops off as Martinez had started to show that bunt. Now he'll glance back at pick and get the signs all over again.
That's exactly why Leffner stepped towards second there, because he didn't even look at the bag. He was keeping his head at home to see what Martinez would do.
Corner infielders are in first and second. And another step off by Leffner sends Dyer scampering back, and he'll retouch. Shortstop Oviedo playing mildly close to the bag. Second baseman Wood in the hole on the right side. Jones, third baseman, on the grass, as well as Bierman over at first. Martinez readying for this first offering. Here it comes. Shows bunt. Can't make contact. A strike, though, right down the middle. Martinez leading the league in a category you probably don't want to be leading in, though not the worst thing in the world. He's been plunked by 4 pitches already this summer, just through a handful of games. So,
hey, anyway, aboard.
Getting on base, but more of the painful route. Love to sacrifice over Dyer and Campbell here. 0-1. Takes high. Didn't show the bunt that time. Ball and a strike on the 7th man for the Red Sox. Luke Waddell standing on deck. He replaced Nick Quintana a couple of innings ago. So he'll get to plate for the first time this afternoon. Ryan Leffner, the righty, St. Louis, comes home with a 1-1, catches that outside corner. Nice little cut at the end of that offering, and he gets ahead of Martinez 1-2. Probably not seeing the bunt here.
No, I'd say definitely not. But here, Martinez needs to put the ball into play and at the very least advance these runners. Big runs out on the base paths.
Dyer off of second, Campbell off of first. The 1-2 well outside. Pastrana moving left to right across in the dirt to keep that one in front of him. Pushes the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes on Martinez. Just 2 hits entering today. Picked up his 3rd in the 7th, then came around to score that go-ahead run. 2-2 from Leffner outside. Did Martinez go? They check down to first. Delaney says no, sir. Nice hold off there from Andrew, and it moves the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes with no outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. 4-1 lead for YD. 1 run in the 4th. That the solo dinger from Dashbach. The 3 runs coming in the 7th. Hoping for more, though, here in the 8th inning. First and second. Payoff pitch to Martinez. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. He cut right through it. Off speed from Leffner. Big-time K at a big-time spot.
Yeah, there you just really have to do all you can to put that ball into play.
Luke Waddell will come to the plate, getting his first time and at the dish, replacing Quintana. We'll see what he can do with a runner in scoring position. 5'8", 175 in the lefty box. Righty Leffner looks back at second. Now comes home, and this one shot out into deep center field. Going back is Brundage. He's got it. Dyer trying to tag. Moving from second to third, he'll slide in safe. Not even a throw. Ball stays in the hands of the cutoff man, Oviedo, and runners on the corners with 2 away.
And that's kind of what YD needed there. from Andrew Martinez with no outs to put that ball out there. Now 2 outs. Still plenty of chances for YD to extend this 3-run lead. I mean, a wild pitch could do it, pass ball. Also, Christian Koss, a single, certainly get the job done.
He had the RBI single just back in the 7th that pushed the Red Sox out in front. That's the difference at the moment. Hoping for a little more insurance with runners at the corners. 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. First pitch all the way to Koss. Connects for a strike. 0-1 the count with 2 outs. First and third for the Red Sox, up by 3, and Koss at the dish. Now 2 for 3. Couple of base knocks coming in the 5th and the 7th. Koss will call time and step out of UC Irvine, one of the Anteaters. One of the better mascots, I'd have to say, across the nation. 0-1 count on the righty hitter. Righty Lefner readies and deals. Wave and a miss, strike 2. Foul tipped into the mitt. And it's quickly 0-2 on Christian Koss, with YD threatening in the 8th.
Personally, I'm big on Grand Canyon Antelopes. Quinn Cotton over there.
Darn good one. We have them both here in Yarmouth. Campbell, good lead off of first. And he'll have to scamper back. A toss over from Lefter on a third to first move. Kind of caught Campbell flat-footed. He is back in safe.
If Lefner had thrown that ball immediately as opposed to stepping toward third, then kind of looking over at first, you got Campbell out, picked off.
Dyer at third, 90 feet away from that 5th Red Sox run. Campbell back off of first. An 0-2 count on Koss. 2 away in the 8th. Lefner's pitch stays up high. Campbell will swipe second. No throw down. Pastrana holding on to the baseball behind home plate. Don't think he would have even had a chance to get the speedy Campbell. And now 2 in scoring position. A single from Koss could do some real damage. Christian awaiting the offering in the righty box. Lefner setting at the belt. Now works home the 1-2. This one golf through on the left side into left center. A base hit. Dyer rounding and scoring. Campbell will touch home as well. 2 more RBIs for Christian Koss. Late game stuff for him. And the Red Sox have a 6-1 lead.
We'll have to see here. Does Koss get credited for 2 RBIs? Because Dillard out there and left fumbled that baseball. I mean, Campbell's already around third, but we'll see. Does Koss get them both?
Especially with some of the hometown scoring that we've seen early on this summer. You'd like to think so. That RBI single in the 7th and now 1 or 2 in the 8th. 5-run lead for the Red Sox. Next pitch, golfed out in the left field. Dillard coming on, and he makes the grab to retire at the side. But the Red Sox tack on a pair here going into the 9th inning, up by 5. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Last licks for the Kettleers in the top of the ninth inning. YD out in front, 6-1. Looking for revenge over Cotuit. And one man also looking for a little revenge. Ryan Nelson about to make his second appearance of the Cape League summer. He got beamed up there in Game 2 down at Lowell Park. Didn't record an out. Gave up 3 earned runs. Walked 3 as well. So he's out here hoping to close things up, wrap up this ball game, and give the Red Sox win number 4 of the season. He'll face Jones, Pastrana, and Wood. YD 3 runs in the 7th to take the lead. They tack on 2 more for insurance. Now in a commanding 6-1 advantage. Nelson, the righty, working from the windup, fires home. Swing and a miss from Jones. Good pounding fastball there from Nelson. Standing 6'4", 190 on the bump. Junior from Oregon. Oh, 1 count. No one on. No outs in the 9th. Nelson, slow delivery. 0-1. A shot foul over the backstop. Quickly 0-2 on. The 6th man was 0 for 3. Jones had a productive afternoon on Father's Day. So far, hitless. Nelson from the windup. A long approach. Here's the 0-2. Curveball stays inside. A ball in 2 strikes on Jones. Wide.
Nelson this past season appearing as a pitcher in 16 games out of the pen. 3.86 ERA, 3.1 record.
Favorable count here on Jones. Ball in 2 strikes with no outs in the 9th. Here's the delivery. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Nelson sends down Jones on 4 pitches, and there's 1 away in the 9th inning. Pinch hitter coming up for the Kettleers, Zach Humphreys.
And Nelson, I mean, we see why this YD staff wants him tabbed as the closer, a guy that can hit 96 plus. You dial up the fastball and then a nice breaking ball as well. Tough to sit.
So Humphreys will bat for Pastrana here with 1 away in the top of the 9th. 6-1 lead for the Red Sox. Nelson hoping to close things out. First pitch on the way. A fastball stays upstairs. 1-0 on Humphreys, the TCU product. Right-handed hitter facing the righty Nelson in for inning number 1 of work. Long delivery. 1-0. That's a strike right down the middle. Evens the count up at 1-1. Humphreys, his father, Mike, playing 4 years with the San Diego Padres. Your Yankees, Brandon. Good baseball blood here for Zach. And a 1-1 count, 1 away. Nelson's offering, fisted foul over the fencing and a ball in 2 strikes. Ryan on the verge of strikeout number 2. Red Sox continue the homestand tomorrow against the Mariners. 5 o'clock start here at Red Wilson before hitting the road to play Bourne on Saturday. 1-2 pitch to Humphreys. Bounces off home plate. He lays off of it. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Here for Nelson, a great opportunity to get some work in, show what you can do in really non-pressure situation.
Red Sox with 6 runs off of 11 hits. Great to see them finally tacking in a few. Just the 1 run in the victory last night in Falmouth, Mass. 2-2 from Nelson is hit high in the air. Sends Cotton on a run, jogging to his right towards the line, but he's got it. 2 outs away. Last hope coming up for the Kettleers. Another pinch hitter, Matt McCourt, will swagger up. He's the last chance for Cotuit, trailing by 5 runs, but Nelson's looked sharp here in the 9th so far.
And, you know, it's so funny seeing Quinn Cotton track down these balls to at least myself. It looks like he's just drifting over because he has so much speed, doesn't even need to go on a full-on sprint.
Nelson versus McCourt with 2 outs in the 9th. Sox up by 5. First pitch, curveball, bounces off of home plate. No, I totally understand what you're saying, Brandon. Kind of a similar vision that I get when watching a guy like Jackie Bradley Jr., man, center field out at Fenway. It's tough to see if he's got a beat on it or not because he's just so casual. And guys that have speed like that, they don't really need to go all out to track down some of these.
I see what we're doing. I brought up
we're
Jeter.
We're trading back here.
JBJ.
We'll see who gets the third one and takes the lead. 1-0 count on McCourt. No one on base. 2 outs in the ninth. 6-1 lead for the Red Sox on the verge of victory. 1-0 fought off foul. Gets back over us. A ball and a strike. Red Sox hoping to jump into a tie momentarily for second place with the Mariners. Pick up points 9 and 10 on this summer. Nelson from the windup, 1-1 curveball inside. 2 balls and a strike on McCourt, the pinch hitter. At the moment, Mariners up 2 runs on Red Sox last night opponent, the Commodores, over at White House Field. That in the top of the 6th. 2 outs here in the 9th. Red Sox in control. 2-1 pitch. Hit a mile high into the infield. Andrew Dashbach calling off everyone, yelling for the ball, and he's got the ball, and that's your ball game. 6-1 the final from Red Wilson. Red Sox string together 2 wins for the first time this summer. Don't let the Sox get hot. That's 2 in a row. Taking on the Mariners tomorrow, but Brandon, a great overall win today. Some late game hitting from Christian Koss. Once again, solid pitching, starting with the starter, drawn together through the bullpen. A lot to like from this one.
Boy, how about the pitching staff? Past 2 games, 3 combined hits allowed from the Red Sox. We saw last year when the pitching was there, that team really came together.
And how about that? 3 hits, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brandon, but all of those ground balls as well. The one today, a double down the line. 2 yesterday in Falmouth that, what, you'd say could have been called errors, if
both
anything.
Of them. I'd say both of them in my book are scored as errors.
So the Red Sox pitching staff getting hot, and you love to see Christian Koss starting to turn it around a little bit as well. In pressure situations, RBI singles in the 7th and the 8th. Those are the guys you root for, guys with great attitudes, and you knew it was only a matter of time until he started swinging the bat well.
Yeah, that's exactly right, especially with a guy that's kind of had the presence here last year and out of kind of nowhere toward the mid to late July, became that leading hitter for YD. Every single game was good for 1 or 2 hits. He ended the season hitting over 300 for the lead on the Red Sox.
Great pitching, some timely hitting, and the Sox take it 6-1 over the Kettleers. A little revenge from Father's Day and put together 2 wins for the first time in all of 2018. Chance to make it 3 in a row tomorrow, right back here, same time, same place, against the Harwich Mariners. Jensen Elliott expected to throw for the Red Sox, and YD will face Xavion Curry, supposedly for the 2nd straight time. YD getting the victory over him about a week ago on the road. Red Sox take it 6-1 at Red Wilson. For Brandon Pelther, I'm Dana Gray saying so long from Red Wilson Field. Thanks so much for tuning in. Red Sox right back at it tomorrow, Friday night on the Red Shirts against the Mariners for the first time. Should be a fun one. We'll see you then.